morning. And I do mean good morning. This is Tuesday because the video didn't upload. It just wasn't good. Just wasn't good. So, good morning. Hopefully you all are doing wonderful today. Hopefully I'll be doing wonderful here in a few moments, as I speedily drive myself towards the office. Smoking my Peterson Sportsman, shape 69. And in it is some Peter Stokkebye's Luxury Bullseye, which is really good if you haven't had it. So, yeah, same old thing, folks. If you would have gotten the actual video, you would have had me driving home, telling a little bit of what happened last week. You know, the usual stuff. Kayla's getting her stuff gathered up for her classroom. We're trying to get Russell's clothing assembled for school. And I'm just trying to keep my head above water. So, I mean, that's the basic of it. Now, all that being said, I will tell you a little event. So, yeah, a little while ago, a couple weeks, I think, went into work, drinking my coffee, and didn't really sleep well, kind of lightheaded. But I'm drinking coffee. I'm drinking coffee, and I'm on like cup 3, I think. And I have nothing on my stomach. Now, I don't know what that does for you, but for me alone, I get rather jittery. So, a little lightheaded, maybe hair shaky. And I just happened to tell one of the bosses, or one of the guys in the office, that I'm, a little lightheaded. He said, "Well, have you checked your sugar?" And I remarked, "Well, no, of course I haven't checked my sugar," because he knows that I don't go to the doctor or anything like that. I mean, he should know these things. He said, "Well, do you want to check your sugar?" I said, sure. So, him being that there are a few diabetics that I work with, and he has a machine. He checked. Turned out it was 84, I think it was, which is, as I understand it, that's okay. And I kind of like, see, it's fine. And he's like, well, what you really need to do is, have a blood panel ran. So when was the last time you had a blood panel or something like that? And I just laughed at him. because I don't have an exact date. A rough guess. Probably coming up on 15 years. Something like that. Ish. Just because I don't think I need to. He said you really should have a check. I said, yeah, you know, how much money is it going to cost? Because, you know, I don't have insurance. And all the things like that. So I don't know. But we can check the doctor's office. Because I don't know if it's similar where you folks are, but an actual doctor's office like I remember growing up, you know, we don't have that anymore. At least not around here. Everything now is attached to a hospital. So the doctor's office, well, let me continue the story. So I get this phone call after we had our conversation. I gather my stuff up, I leave, go do what I'm supposed to be doing. And I get a phone call 15-20 minutes after I leave the shop. Your appointment's at 8. Don't be late. I'm like, oh, okay. So who's paying for this? He said, boss man said he's going to cover it. Now, what I was getting at is everything is attached to a hospital. So the place that I went has our local hospital name. It was like an urgent care on it. So it's like a 2-tier urgent care on the bottom and like a regular doctor's office ish on top, you know. And I don't know. My mother used to work at a regular doctor's office where, you know, it was, I think the doctor was George Massoud. I mean, that was, and it was his office. It wasn't, you know, the local hospital or anything. I don't know. Anyway, so I go have my blood taken. Well, I get called back. The lady taking my blood, I want to first off and say she was extremely professional. Second off, I knew. And bless her heart, I'm used to being stuck. I used to give blood. I used to have to take allergy shots. Needles don't faze me at all. I mean, at all. And also, I have a respectively high pain tolerance. So, you know, her jabbing me and digging around in my arm, because she did. Twice on the left, because that's what I thought we'd strike gold with, which wasn't the case. And she told me that she'll only stick me one more time, and she wanted to try it right. I said, hey, knock herself out. Well, she stuck me, and she's working that needle in my arm. Because apparently the vein over here rolls all over the place. Because she worked at it. And also in the midst of this, she looked at me and says, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, sis, I'm fine. Are you okay?" Because, like I said, she's very professional. So, you know, she doesn't want to hurt nobody, which I'm grateful for. Because I'm fairly confident I had somebody one time hit crossways a nerve. That's what it felt like anyway. Not her though. So she finally hits the vein, draws the blood. I thank her for doing such a very good job, because she did. Okay, so that's done. Time passes. I get my results. And I'm looking at them. I'm looking at them in the office. And the guy works at the office, who's kind of the head of all this. Kind of like going through, you know, well, what's the A1C? Well, the A1C is actually pretty good. You know, you're right in the middle of the recommended thing there. Like, oh, good, yeah. And yeah, I think the only thing that I have anything high on, well, there are two things. One is the thyroid levels are high, which I'm actually supposed to be taking medication. I don't. I know. And the other one was the parameters that they gave on cholesterol. I was 1 point high, like 1 point out of that parameter. Other than that, everything's normal. Now, the funny thing about all this, and I've told the story a few times, and I laugh at it still. So, both guys that work in the office, I have known for many years. I went to high school with them. And I'm sitting in the middle office, because that's where the comfy chair is, going through this, and the guy who took my blood sugar is the one in the other office, but he's walking in, and you know, we're talking about the numbers and stuff. The other guy, who's actually office I'm sitting in, calls me a few names. He says, I go to the doctor, I watch my diet. Let's see, what else did he say? Oh, it's the same guy that had the heart attack. Yeah, I had a heart attack, I watch my diet, I go to the doctor, and he's still got a healthier, he's still healthier than I am. Which, if you do the whole thing, it makes me laugh, makes me jump. Because he threw in that I smoked. partially, second part of what brought all this on is because, you know, I've lost some weight. And I'm not trying to lose any. I'm not. It's just coming off. I haven't changed anything, is what I'm trying to say. And one of the guys is like, "It's great that you're losing weight. What are you doing?" I said, "I'm not doing anything." "What do you mean you're not doing anything?" I said, "I'm not doing anything." He said, "Oh, you might want to go to the doctor." I said, "Oh yeah? Yeah, it could be cancer." "Oh, that's good to know." Yeah. So I went and had a blood thing done. Turns out I don't have it. And I'm not trying to make light of anyone who does. But this is the conversation that I deal with over at the office. This is I mean, I know they're just looking out for me. I know. But they wear me out. Well, folks, hopefully you are doing well. Hopefully my little storytelling makes up for not having a proper Mirth Monday. You folks take care, and remember, kindness costs us nothing.